The one thing holding you back as an artist, no BS, is your mentality on art. Specifically, your obsession with perfection. Let's leave it at your mentality for now, so it's easier to remember. Disclaimer: I'm a beginner artist who's still learning the fundamentals of drawing. My goal is to one day make my own manga/webtoon, but I felt like making this video would help a lot of artists out there, be it new or veteran, as I see this one thing hinder the art community from accessing their true potential in their art journey. Let's get into the video. What does mentality have to do with Megumi? Alright, so you're saying my mentality is stopping my art progression, but what does that even mean? And why is this guy telling me I gotta be like Megumi to be good at art? Is this guy high? No, I'm not high, but let me cook for a second. So the idea for this video came to me after I helped my friend Cavill with his drawbox art. What is drawbox? Wait, before you skip, it's free. And no, I'm not sponsored. Drawbox is like the tutorial level for artists. If you're interested in art or learning and understanding the fundamentals of art, Drawbox can help you. For me personally, I only heard about Drawbox because I was in the dumps about how my art progress was progressing at the time. I found out about Drawbox through Celtic Manga's video, which really helped me get out of my slump at that time. Check it out if you get the chance, honestly. Before that time, I used to pay tons of money for those online courses or watch those get better at art in 30 days videos that are riddled on the platform, but I realized I wasn't really getting the most out of them. Drawbox has an extensive library of knowledge to get you through the tutorial stages of art and really help you level up your art at your own pace. You can do an official track if you really want to pay, which is offered on their Patreon, where you can get your work graded by an official Drawbox TA or Drawbox staff. This official track is cheaper than most meals in current day, and they have a massive community of artists to get to know and grow with as artists together. Overall, if you're a beginner, intermediate, or veteran looking to get your fundamentals solidified, I can't recommend this option enough, as it's helped me jump levels in my art journey. Give Drawbox a chance if you're looking to conquer your art goals today. So I was helping my friend Cavill, and I noticed for a few of his streams he would look at his page, find a fault in it, throw it away, and restart again.
Say we hit it one last time. And we really lock it. Okay, yeah. I know I usually say that, and I know I usually say this, but we're gonna keep this one, and if the next one's perfect, so be it, but otherwise, we're just gonna... These are final. We're not hitting it again, right? We don't have that many... We can't do that this many times. But we're gonna hit it again, because I got a feeling, to quote Germa. We've already talked about it, so we're not gonna need to brief about all the steps involved here.
Even though what he was drawing hadn't been started yet. So I told him, bro, you gotta be more like Megumi. For those of you non-weebs out there, I'll explain. Megumi is a character from Jujutsu Kaisen who doubted his own ability. His life has been filled with talented people who can easily destroy any foe that stands in their way. But one day, Megumi is faced with a foe that he feels he can't handle. Instead of running, however, Megumi pushes himself to use his technique even though he feels he's not ready to use it yet.
One thing I don't get. Why did you run back then? Spit out the entire depths of my shadow. Worry about a specific structure later. Imagine a future version of myself who's freely surpassed my limits. Oh, I can do that!
With a strong foundation and a little bit of sense and imagination, it just takes the slightest trigger to change a person.
Domain expansion! Chimera Shadow Garden! It's incomplete, and it's ugly work at best. But for now, that's fine!
The visuals you see on screen will be a time-lapse version of me drawing at Imperfect Geto from Jujutsu Kaisen. We as artists can learn a lot from Megumi here, as a lot of the time we feel inadequate about our work, or we feel not ready to tackle the things ahead. Sometimes we're too focused on perfection, but just attempting to do it is actually enough. Most of the time in life, it's hard to take the first step. But with a shift in mentality, rather than focusing on why our work is trash or not perfect, we should love our work for what it is right now. As humans, it's easy for us to focus on the mistakes we make rather than the good we do. But to truly grow as an artist, you need to make mistakes. Now let's go back in time for a bit. I want you to remember a time where you were a kid and you would draw stuff without worry or care for the world. Regardless of how your art may have been or looked at that time, you still hung it up on the fridge with pride, knowing that you made it and it was yours. You gotta get back to those times and love your art for what it is, because it's yours. There's beauty in imperfection, and your work is beautiful, and no one can take that away from you.
This is where we redeem our miserable lives. It's time to start.
Megumi.
So now that we know the concept of living like Megumi, how do we actually get there? Well, that's a great question. A mentality is not something that can simply change over a day or a video. It's gonna take some time for things to change. However, now that you're more aware of it, you've already taken a big step that most people haven't. So be proud of it. Instead of focusing on the negative aspects of your work, try looking at what you did well within your art. Also, it's good to realize that one piece of art doesn't define your entire career as an artist, so even if you make mistakes, you have plenty of opportunities in the future to learn from it. Unlike a physics class, you have unlimited retries in art. Here, I'll answer some questions related to what we've been talking about while I finish up Geto in the background. What does perfection mean to you? Does it mean making an idolized version of your drawing without noticeable flaws, or does it mean doing your absolute best? To me, I think perfection means making a drawing that I put all my effort into. Personally, I believe that perfection exists in a lot of drawings out there. However, if you were to ask the artist if their work is perfect, they would probably point out some flaw or issue that stops their work from being perfect. So the overall concept of perfection to me is left to the individual. While perfection is the goal for every artist out there, I don't think it's possible to find perfection if I can't even find myself reaching for the pen to draw. For example, during this drawing of Geto, I struggled a lot with getting the face correct, to the point where I ended up redrawing it again. Even though I went back to fix my mistakes in the pursuit of perfection, quote unquote, I still ended up making mistakes the second time around. From this perspective, if I just stuck with the original drawing, even though it had a horrid mistake in it, I would have been able to draw an army of Getos rather than the one we see right here in this video. So without the ability to make an imperfect Geto, I wouldn't know what it would take to make a perfect Geto. Thus, this imperfect Geto is one step closer to a perfect Geto. Thus, one step closer to perfection. Isn't part of the learning process recognizing flaws within our work and attempting to correct them? Shouldn't we at least try to find solutions to our problems? Otherwise, we'll never know how to avoid them in the future. Flaws within your work do matter. I'm not telling you to abandon the concept of perfection. However, the solution to your problem might not be one that you know at the immediate moment. So instead of worrying about the 5% you don't know, focus on the 95% that you do know. There's a difference between understanding your mistakes and being fixated on them. A fixation stops you from realizing the bigger picture. As for avoiding mistakes in the future, drawing is a complex problem in the sense that once you figure something out, there's something else that you don't know later on. So instead of looking at how to avoid every mistake for the future, embrace the fact that your mistakes show you what you need to work on for the future. The rest of this video will be my process on drawing Geto. But before that, I want to give a big shout out to Rise, Cavo, and my friends supporting me, and especially the drawbox community. Without them, I wouldn't be as far as I am in my art journey, and I've made such big strides within my art career because of them. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe if there's anything that resonated with you within this video. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comment section for me, and I'll try to incorporate it within my future videos. Follow me on Twitter at @TheRealYumiBurn, and thanks for watching the video this far. Good luck with your art journey, God bless, and have a good one, guys. I look forward to seeing what you guys end up making within the future. Peace.